beautiful souls. Welcome to Soulful Sessions with Rory, the podcast where we dive deep into the matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. I'm your host, Rory, and I'm thrilled to embark on this soulful journey with each and every one of you. Soulful Sessions is your safe space for introspection, inspiration, and maybe even a little revelation. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee, winding down after a long day, or just seeking a moment of connection, you're in the right place. Before we dive into today's soulful exploration, I want to remind you that Soulful Sessions with Rory is designed for entertainment purposes only. While we may touch on profound topics and meaningful discussions, it's important to approach our conversation with an open heart and a sense of curiosity. Life is a journey, and so is this podcast. We'll navigate the realms of self-discovery, spirituality, and personal growth. But remember, the insights we share here are not a substitute for professional advice or guidance. Always consult with the appropriate professionals regarding your unique circumstances. So whether you're a seasoned seeker or just dipping your toes into the waters of self-exploration, get ready for a blend of wisdom, laughter, and a touch of magic in each episode of Soulful Sessions with Rory. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a soulful moment. Follow me on social media, IG at Soulful Explorer, Facebook, Listening Veteran Life Coach, and Snapchat, Rory, Soulful Explorer, to stay connected, share your thoughts, and be a part of this incredible community. Now let the journey begin. Sit back, relax, and let's fill our souls together. Today's soulful episode, being alone in a world full of people. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hit a clap for that. Because, being alone in a world full of people, I think the first thing that we have to identify is what exactly is loneliness or alone even. And so when you go to the dictionary says that loneliness is sadness because one has no friends or company. To be lonely is sad because one has no friends or company, without companions. So solitary and unfrequented and remote. So when you listen to those definitions of the word lonely, and let me first give credit to a friend of mine who asked me to talk about this topic. At a certain point in your life, you would think that loneliness, the older you get, the more profound or the more intense it becomes. But the truth is, loneliness can happen to anybody at any stage, at any age. Now that we've defined loneliness, let's take a look at just, what areas can you be lonely? When I was in the service, I think my biggest form of loneliness that I experienced was the loneliness of leadership, or better yet, the loneliness of vision. That's a powerful statement, the loneliness of vision, because sometimes there's a feeling that you have. You literally can lay out your whole life in front of you. You can say, you know what, I can see me doing this. I know that my life is going to consist of me being a dancer, me being an entertainer, dare I say a rapper, a doctor. I could see that, I was going to go to high school, go to college, go to grad school, go to get my medical degree. And then I was going to become a world-renowned surgeon. Or better yet, I have a vision for a company. I'm going to build this company from the ground up, and I'm going to make it this masterpiece of commerce. But when you try to share your vision with someone else, they look at you like you're crazy. And so you don't pay it any mind. You go, well, I'm gonna do it, and not only do they look at you like you're crazy, but they also add, I wouldn't take that chance. Are you sure? Well, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna need this, and this. And it's amazing how people tell you how your vision, how your dream, how your goal is supposed to be. And what do? You sink in. You take a step back. Especially when you recognize that you're lonely in your vision. No one else can see you. No one else can hear you. You're lonely. It's the absence of someone to share that vision, that dream with, even though you're in a room full of people. So that's just one version of being lonely. when it's the absence of people being present to your dream, to your ideas. See, the other version of lonely can be inflicted upon you by friends, family, romantic interests, and even your employment. So, you ever been in a situation where you got a promotion, or let's just say you switched areas at a job? And when you get to the new position, when you get to the new place, the people there, they act like they don't want to talk to you. They don't trust you. Or they downright are disrespectful. And we talked about respect before, so we're not going to go back into that. But you find yourself in a position whereas as a leader especially, you can't complain up, and you definitely can't complain down. I had a supervisor once tell me, he said, Rory, being in charge is like being on a remote island by yourself, because I can't tell my superiors that I have a problem that I can't emotionally resolve, or that I'm feeling some kind of way, because it can be taken as a sign of weakness. And then I can't tell my subordinates that I'm feeling some kind of way, because again, it can be taken as a sign of weakness. So in order for me to stay in charge and in control, I have to be on this island all by myself. When you think of it as an island, it does seem lonely. So that means that you're this person of power. You have the ability to have something to do with someone's livelihood, and you feel alone. What happens when that same leader has to fire somebody, or has to tell a subordinate that they're not doing a great job? You're the bad guy. You're the bad guy in two instances. On the way down, your subordinates are looking at you because you have no sympathy. You're telling them that they're inadequate at what they do. And then on the way up, your supervisors are saying that you're inadequate because you have that member who isn't doing the job they're supposed to do, because it's your duty to train them. So you're not only alone in your position, you're alone in your understanding. See, because you see that worker that has to go home to their spouse. You see them. So you can't just say, well, such and such is doing a horrible job. You have to say such and such is doing a horrible job because he's going through it with his wife. She's going through it with her husband, her boyfriend, his girlfriend. Now, hopefully they all not going through it together, but you get what I'm saying. So you're lonely in that aspect. The other way you could be lonely is when you're the member of a family and nobody in that family appears to have a concern about your well-being. Now, I'm going to say that again. When no one in that family appears, keyword, to have no concern about your well-being. As a kid, I think that some of us are set up for failure. And I use that word lightly, failure, that is. From the time we're a kid, we have somebody saying, hey, did you eat? Hey, are you okay? What's wrong? Why are you crying? What's going on with your day? How was school? Some of us very early, unfortunately, didn't get any of that. Nobody cared if we ate. Nobody cared if we had a good day at school. It was, how are your grades? So in both instances, though, you're used to something. You're used to people not caring in one instance, and you're used to people caring in the other. But either way, you can still end up on a lonely island, and let me explain. For the person that got this every day, let's just say as a teenager, kind of tapered off. And then they went to college, and they graduated from college, and then it really tapered off. And all of a sudden, the family stopped asking. Not only did they stop asking, but they also became curious about why you don't ask them. Why aren't you checking on your mom? Why aren't you checking on your dad, your siblings, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, your nieces, your nephews? They seem to not care about how you feel. And everyone is saying, what about me? Why haven't you checked on me? Why haven't you tried to figure out if I'm okay? And you're baffled. You're baffled because the majority of your life, there was somebody checking on you, and then it just stopped. Now, we could go down the road of inadequacies. We could go down the road of insecurities and things of that nature, but I don't want to go there. I just want to kind of keep it simple. And so in keeping it simple, We begin to feel some kind of way because our family, the people whose blood course through their veins and my veins, and it's similar or the same, they don't seem to care about your loneliness. Friends. A friend of mine told me, Rory, you call everybody friend. You need to stop. And you know what? I kind of agree because the definition of friend to me is different than most people. I'm not going to go through the Webster definition or the Merriam, oh, the same thing, Merriam-Webster definition. Instead, what I'll tell you is what I believe a friend is. A friend is that person who's willing to sacrifice for you consistently, without question, without judgment. Now, when I say without question, that doesn't mean that their concern isn't going to say, hey, what's going on? Without question, I'm talking about the kind where they see something is wrong and they see you don't want to talk about it, or they know that your pride is in the way or something, and they're willing to make a sacrifice for you without judgment. So when you have friends, it's difficult to be lonely because you have friends. But friends can't be with you 24/7. Friends can't call on you all the time or check on you all the time. Some do, let's be clear. But are they the ones that you consider friends? And I hate to be the one to say it, but sometimes we're a little picky with who we share our life with, who we share our energy with. And so with our friends, the way you can be lonely is because the people you hold dear to you, they don't check on you. They don't see if you're okay. When you call, they don't answer. I would say this, you need to qualify your friends. Make sure they're not just associates. But the point is that you can feel lonely in a room full of friends because you don't have that connection. They're not really friends. And so you know that when you look at that person to your left, to your right, they wouldn't go out on a limb for you. Some of them go days, months, years without checking on you. And you could be in such a bad space. And they're questioning, man, what happened? You look really rough. And all you needed was just somebody to say, hey, man, how are you doing? Let me check on you. I'm just reaching out to make sure you're okay. And I'm not putting all of that on your friends because it's up to you as well to get that feeling from them. Check on them even if they're not checking on you so you could fill up your needs, right? Romantic interest. I heard somebody say before that I'm with this person, but yet I feel alone. I'll be honest, I said it before. I said it in a situation where I couldn't talk to my partner. She appeared to be unconcerned about my well-being, unconcerned about how I felt. Now, I'm not here to pass blame or anything like that in any situation, but what I will say is that your partner can't know what you need if you never tell them. So let me throw that disclaimer out there. But I also want to point out that you also have to know the type of person that you're dealing with. So if you've ever felt like you're single in a situation where you don't think that your partner's saying you're not, that's something to be discussed. But being alone in a relationship is probably one of the hardest things to do because that means that person isn't giving you what you need. More importantly, it also means that you're not getting what you need, meaning you're not taking it. You're not telling them what you need or whatever you're doing. And something needs to be done. You need to ask yourself, is this really that this person isn't feeding me what I need? Or is it that this person isn't meant for me? Sometimes we try to be with people that just aren't meant for us. Sometimes we try to get this feeling from people that aren't supposed to give it to us. And I'm not just talking about romantic interests. I'm talking in every aspect. I'm talking friends. I'm talking jobs. I'm talking everything. And so To feel lonely in a romantic relationship, that is something you really have to stop and think about. Am I lonely because of what I'm doing? Am I lonely because of what's happening? And let's be honest, most of the time you know the answer. You know the answer and you're in denial. You won't allow yourself to be truthful with yourself. And see, that is also part of the problem. Being lonely is a choice. Well, Rory, how can I choose to be lonely if I don't have any friends? That's easy, because now we're going to talk about how do you not be lonely. You know, R. Kelly made a song, Living Single. Feeling Single. I'm sorry, not Living Single. I'm thinking of a TV show. Feeling Single. And the words was like, the first verse is something like, feel like it's over. And that is a lonely person song. You know, feeling single, about to get out. And so if you feel single, and I'm not talking just in a romantic relationship, do you feel single with your friends? Do you feel single at your job? Do you feel single at your church? Yep, I said it, at your church. You can go to church every Sunday and still feel alone. You can feel invisible. Nobody sees you. Nobody hears you. See, feeling alone is a feeling of invisibility. You no longer matter. In order to fix this feeling, in order to feel better, it is my belief, keyword, my belief, not yours, just mine, my belief that you have to understand who you are. Self-efficacy, by the way, one of my favorite words. Self-efficacy is so super important. Self-esteem is important. What is your value and who determines your value? I do. Well, I don't determine your value. I determine my value. So in order for me to feel good about me, I have to believe in me. I have to love me unconditionally. I have to love every physical flaw. I have to love every mental flaw. I have to love every spiritual flaw. It does not matter what the church said about me. It doesn't matter what my job said about me. It doesn't matter what my girlfriend said about me. It doesn't matter what anybody said about me, because there's only one person that can validate me, and that's me. Then why am I alone? I am alone because I don't realize my value. I am lonely because I don't realize my value. Now, of course, if you are of the religious faith, you know, it's people that will say simply, with God, you're never alone. In the universal faith, as long as you understand who you are, you're never alone. Either way it goes back to self. Who am I? What is my purpose? Where does my value lie? Too many times we're told that our value is in the job that we do. Too many times we're told that our value is in the material items that we possess. Too many times we're told that our value is in the money that we have. Well, I would like to propose a new system. And to be honest, it's not new at all. What is your value according to your morals and character? I want to remove the word morals from that. Let's just say character. See, because morals is tricky. Your morals are not going to be my morals. What you think is right is not going to be what I think is right. So let's leave morals out of there. Let's just talk about character. I can't be lonely because my character won't allow me to. I will be a blessing to those who allow me to be a blessing. I will allow those people to be a blessing to me who I allow to be a blessing. See, a lot of times we're lonely because we're choosing to be lonely. Now, that doesn't mean that when you're by yourself, you're lonely. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that lonely in the emotion, because you're choosing to be. You're afraid that you're going to get hurt. Yep, I said it. I said it because that's where we were going with this. Being lonely means that you have put up walls so thick, so thick that you won't allow anybody in. Not family, not friends, not your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife. And why? Because you're so afraid they're going to hurt you. Going back to the job where you're the leader and you're lonely. See, even if it's about complaining, there's always peer to peer. You think you're the only supervisor in the world? Go talk to another supervisor. Find a group. Find your pack. As they say, find your tribe. You think that your dynamics is the only dynamics? Rory, I was assaulted before. I was sexually assaulted. I was molested. I was raped. Nobody will understand my pain. I would beg to differ. There are groups for that. You don't have to be lonely in your suffering. You don't have to be lonely in your moments of despair. There are people who have experienced worse than what you've experienced. There are people who are going through what you could never imagine. We all lose somebody. We all lose a friend, a spouse, a family member, and it hurts. And, I've heard people say that you don't know the pain of loss until you've lost somebody. And see, I lost several somebodies and I didn't feel that pain. But last year, oh, I felt that pain. Even thinking about it right now, that pain hurts me. But I refuse to live in that pain. That pain will not define me. That pain will not become a part of me. That pain will not be the reason that I do not stick with my tribe. You are not alone. You are not lonely. You're growing in strength and courage. One of the things that you may want to try or that you may want to do is go outside, bathe in the sun, go take a walk at the park. Go sing karaoke. Well, Rory, I don't want to go by myself. Well, guess what? When you get there, you won't be by yourself. There'll be other people there doing the same thing you're doing. My family don't want to have nothing to do with me. Have you talked to them? Have you tried? I didn't say go ask for forgiveness or forgive them. I said try to have a communication, try to have a conversation, create real communication where you not just tell them what's on your mind, but you listen. A lot of times family members can't hear you because they're trying to have a voice themselves. They need somebody to listen to them. Make the sacrifice. Let them talk to you. Be the listening ear. Don't worry about whether or not they're listening to you. Your time will come. Open up the gap so that you can establish real relationships. What about my significant other? How do I stop feeling lonely in that situation? It's been years. We barely talk to each other. We're in the same house and we move. It's all mechanical. You do this, I do that. Nothing has really changed over the years. Somebody has to make a sacrifice. And that sacrifice says, I'm willing to think about you every day in ways to make you smile, despite what you do for me. And you make that sacrifice. The one thing about human behavior is that we watch something enough, we become that. Let your spouse see your change. They're either going to say, this is something I need and wanted, or they're going to tell you it's too late. But either way, you'll get an answer. What I'm telling you is don't sit down waiting for someone to change for you. You become the change that you want to see. You step out on faith and remind yourself who you are. Loneliness is a choice. It's not an absolute. You will have moments of loneliness. That's just human nature. But you don't have to live in them. When you lose a loved one, don't focus on the loss. Focus on what you gained. Because I know you're going to feel lonely. You're going to feel empty. You're going to feel like something is missing. Fill that hole up with who they were. Fill that hole up with the blessings that they gave you during their lifetime. Don't focus on all the negative things that happen. Every morning that you wake up, you remind yourself today is going to be a great day. Even Mondays, especially Mondays. Today is going to be a great day. I know I may have told this story before, but I got to say it again. I was with a client who told me, by the way, the client said I could tell this story, even though I won't give descriptions or anything like that. But he said to me, because my question in a lot of my sessions is always, what are you looking forward to? Most people that I talk to, they're looking forward to, a new car, a new house, a vacation, time with their significant others, like, oh my God, so all these wonderful things. And of course, as a clinician, it makes me happy. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, that's great. This person said something that I've never heard before, and it brought me to tears. And I'll tell you why in a moment. What was said was that, he said, Rory, I look forward to tomorrow. Wow. I said, say that again. I look forward to tomorrow. I had such a sinking feeling in my heart. Here's a person that tried to take their life, and the thing they're looking forward to is tomorrow. Oh my God. That was so beautiful to me that it helped me to realize I've been looking at this all wrong. I've been looking for the things to make me feel whole. The material things, the trips, the vacations, all of that, the financial things, the money, instead of being blessed with just another tomorrow. It changed the way I think. I want each and every last one of you to look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow is so beautiful and so powerful. If you're looking for tomorrow, you'll never be lonely again. I so appreciate each and every last one of you. Thank you, beautiful souls, for joining me today on another enlightening episode of Soulful Sessions with Rory. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might benefit. As we navigate the depths of introspection and explore the boundless possibilities of the human spirit, remember that your journey is uniquely yours, and every twist and turn is a sacred part of your story. Embrace the whispers of your soul, and may the echoes of our conversations linger in your heart, sparking a flame of self-discovery. Until we meet again in the realm of shared wisdom, stay true to your essence, stay connected to the rhythm of your soul, and always remember that you are a masterpiece in the making. Wishing you love, light, and infinite possibilities on your soulful journey. Until next time, this is Rory signing off with gratitude and reverence for the magic that resides in each and every one of you.